Hey everybody, it's Chad with Nobody Else's Auto. Let me know if you guys see anything weird tonight as far as sound, visual, things like that. I'm on my laptop. I'm running off of the camera on the laptop. I typically try to bring an external camera with me. I forgot to throw one in. I actually used to keep one in my bag. It crapped out. So I've been trying to bring one with me whenever I'm gone off of one of the computers on the desk. I forgot that this week. So I'm working with what I've got here. So let me know if you guys see any issues on your end. Pete's here with us. Austin's on. But let me know if we're good to go, if this is working. Hey, Hubcap Dylan made it tonight because I really don't know. This is something a little bit different than we typically do it. Yep, we are. Hey, there's Glenn. Neil made it tonight. Kevin's on. Bill Disk. So are we good on sound and everything? And Mark's here. Sam, I mean, I know the video quality isn't as good just running off this camera, but let me know if we don't have any sound issues or so. Hey, Randy made it by tonight. But anyway, awesome, perfect. It's working. I never know for sure. I got a pretty good regiment down every week, and when I get something kind of throws a monkey in the works, like forgetting my camera, I'm never really sure. So glad that we're still working out okay. Anyway, obviously I'm not on the road, so we do have probably an abbreviated version tonight. I've got a few things to talk about. We'll go through our normal week. I looked at the Nobody's page here a little bit before I got on. Looked like you guys have had a lot of stuff going on. So please chime in wherever you see fit. Let us know how things are going with you guys. Kenny made it tonight. Randy with a nut farm. Ryan and Amy are here. So anyway, if you guys caught the short that I threw up earlier today, I did catch a swap meet today. So we'll get to that here shortly. We'll back up to earlier in the week and start off with what happened. Obviously, you guys do know what happened Tuesday if you're with us here on Tuesday night. Tractor Mike was in town, picked up his Model A that he bought at the F&E Collector Auto Auction, plus another pile of stuff I had here for him. He brought me a pile of stuff he'd been gathering up for me, and we shared a lot of that with you on Tuesday evening. Mark, I was going to try to get some stuff ready tonight, Mark, but I mainly didn't because I didn't know how well this was going to work. We do have one thing laying here we could sell. I sent a bunch of the smaller stuff back with Dad. I should have grabbed some more of that, but just there again, ran out of day. So we got one thing we may sell tonight. We'll see what happens. Anyway, it's just been a bananas week because Tractor Mike was here Tuesday, and always good to see him. And like I said, we shared a lot of that with you Tuesday night. And then the other thing that's getting ready to happen, not quite yet, but Dad's car is supposed to be here tomorrow. So hopefully we will be getting you some stuff on that GM prototype car that will be here, I think, tomorrow. It's on the truck right now. So we do know that's coming as well. But the other exciting things that happened this week, starting off Thursday, our friends at Car Auction and Real Estate had another auction. Saw Nick there. He got some plates there. He posted some of those up on the Nobody's page. Got to hang out with Nick for a bit, catch up with him. And it was a tough day. I mean, I ain't going to lie. It was a tough day. I did get some stuff bought. I threw one picture up of the back of the truck, and there wasn't much in it. Did get some grease caps, not a ton. There was a lot of grease caps there, but they were extremely difficult to buy. License plates, same way. There were a lot of they had a ton of plates, but there again, they were tough. I mean, some of the early Kansas. I don't even have my badges with me tonight, Neil. Hey, there's Big Rig Brett. I do have something super cool I bought today. I can't wait to show you guys. I'm so geeked about this. We're going to get to that here in a little bit. So I don't remember, Mark. Some people have brought that up before, but I'm not sure what that means. I know some of you guys do know. If you could share that with us again. but there were some of the early Kansas plates. Some of the stuff that we've done on here, some of that teen stuff that were, especially the mid-teen stuff, $100 a whack on plates. So, I mean, and even some of the rough stuff was $50-$60 a whack for plates. So, I mean, it was a tough day. I did get some plates bought in some groups. Didn't really get any of the real early ones, other than a couple that we wanted. I did get some other cool stuff. I got several other states, so we could mix our state stuff up a lot with what I did get. But there was a lot of plates there, and I didn't even end up with 100 of them. So, which I really don't need after buying that last deal a couple weeks ago that was another couple thousand. So anyway, I did get some stuff. Obviously, I haven't even sorted through it, but there's a lot of other states, so we'll start mixing up the plate situation on the auctions with a lot of other states. Like I said, I did get it didn't get a ton of grease caps considering how many were there, but I did get a decent amount bought, and there's a lot of stuff that we've never sold on here before that I've now got duplicates on that are going to start popping up. So that's going to be exciting starting next week. Just obviously that all happened Thursday. Didn't have a ton of stuff in the truck, but what was in there, I got it out Thursday afternoon, and we reloaded Friday morning and hit the road. But there is some cool stuff. Oh, I did get some cool cans too. Not a ton, but some pretty neat stuff that I already have that are going to be thrown up for auction. You all right there, Randy? Hey, Jim made it tonight. So that was fun for sure on Thursday, even though, like I said, it was getting as bad. I didn't get near as much stuff bought as I would hope for, but if I'd have tried to, I spent a ton of money the way it was. Had I tried to go harder on some of that stuff, I was going to end up spending a small fortune. So, it was just a strong sale. There's just no way around it. And then we hit the trail and hit a big flea market. It's kind of blurring together. I got up at 4:40 this morning. So it's starting to become a long day. It's not too bad, but I literally haven't stopped since I got up at 4:40 this morning and got rolling. But yesterday had a pretty good sized flea market. I got some stuff, Randy, that we've never sold before. I know you don't have. And I'm excited about it because I'm excited that once I get extras that I can share some of this stuff with you guys. Hey, there's Kevin L. And so, yeah, Randy, we've got some super cool grease caps coming up. Just like I said, got to get back and get them sorted. I actually got another one today too, but I left it in Dad's truck. So we will have some fun grease caps coming up. I ain't going to lie to you guys. We got some fun grease caps coming up starting next week. The flea market yesterday was a little better than I thought, and it was advertised as a flea market, but there was a little bit of car stuff there. And so, it wasn't huge, but it was worth going to, and you get some car stuff, and you always end up with some other junk you don't need, but hey, that happens. But there was car stuff there, so that was good. Got some Ford pickup parts bought and some stuff like that. So bought a bunch of emblems that I was going to try to sort through some of the emblems and auction them tonight, but there again, not knowing for sure if this was even going to work, I didn't go through them and sort them out. But there's a bunch of emblems that are going to start popping up on auctions as well. Some pretty cool stuff. Some different. In fact, I think everything in there was Mopar and Ford. There's like some pretty cool like 60s era Chrysler badges, Imperial stuff. Kind of some different funky stuff we've never had before. So, like I said, I kind of wanted to get to that. I just ran out of day. It was good, Austin. We'll get to it here just a little bit. So hit that yesterday. Then, and then like if you caught the short, and I did shoot a bunch of clips there. And once I get home and get all this stuff sorted out, hey, there's JP. Y'all do a video of the stuff that I've got that I did get bought. Kind of a weird swap meet for me. Now, maybe this is common up in this neck of the woods. Had never been to this one, but we were going to be up here, so we figured, well, let's squeeze it in and make it work. And they kicked the gates open at this fairgrounds at like 6 in the morning. To start, I mean, that's it. Nobody is in there yesterday. Nobody can do anything. They opened the gates like at 6 in the morning. Dad said, well, he talked to one guy who said he was in line at 2:30 this morning to get in. They opened the gates at 6. And then everybody has to be gone. And I wasn't there at this point, but everybody we talked to said everybody has to be gone off the fairgrounds, packed up in their truck, loaded up, and gone by 3. So I mean, it is a wham bam in and out, swap meet. So it was about an hour drive for us from where we stayed yesterday. So we left right before 6, got there just before 7, and I mean the lines were insane. I can't even tell you how many people were lined up trying to get in. There was like 2 different vendor lines that were like a couple blocks long. Austin says it's always been that way. So yeah, kind of a different deal, but it worked out. I ended up buying a decent amount of stuff. And I bought a swamp cooler. I mean, I wasn't in there 5 minutes, and I bought a swamp cooler. It's kind of banged up, but it's solid, and it looks like it's all there. So that was a win. Roughly 30 minutes from Austin's. So okay. So like I said, it was kind of different for me, but I mean, it worked. We made 2 passes. Made 1 pass as soon as we got there through everything. When a lot of people weren't even set up yet. Got regrouped from that run, and then went back and started over and went back through and double checked everything and hit everything again and caught all the guys that weren't in there before when we started setting up. So, hey, glad you made it, Gal. Yeah, unfortunately, this is their game, so we do have to deal with some of the ads. But like I said, overall, it was pretty good. And I got something there today that I've been looking for a really long time. We're going to get to that. It'll take care of it. We'll use it for a different segment of tonight coming up. But we do have a promo model that I bought yesterday. We've got a badge and an emblem. We've got another super cool piece that I got today that I can't wait to share with you. Like I said, I should have grabbed one of the caps and one of the cans and some of that stuff out of Dad's truck, but everything kind of just got into a blur this afternoon so he could get on the road and get home. I'm not going home until tomorrow morning. But regardless, it's all working out. So got back from the swap meet today, got everything reshuffled, put a bunch of the big stuff in my truck, and then reshuffled everything in Dad's truck so he could get his bed cover closed and get on the road. And then we went and hit another antique shop today that we've been to before and got some pretty good stuff at. And once again, of course, I bought more stuff there too because I'm not very smart. But it's some really super cool hire stuff. And I am a fan of root beer. So cool hires pieces, I'm always in. So we'll get those squeezed in with you here sometime in the near future too. Or if we get to it later tonight, maybe we can get to those as well. We'll see. But anyway, gold mine. You ever been there, Austin? Perfect, Kevin. Glad your stuff made it, and glad you enjoy your oil can book. Smarter than the average bear, that could be debated, JP. Yeah, and I will, Mark. We're going to hang out for a bit. I don't know how long everything's going to go. But yeah, I don't plan on going real long tonight. Don't have a ton of stuff to show you because I didn't get stuff. I didn't grab another handful out of Dad's truck before he left. We've got some cool stuff we're going to check out. And one piece that I'm so geeked about that I think you guys are going to dig it. So, yeah, I appreciate that. That's probably what I will do. And, but like I said, I didn't want to blow you guys off and not jump on for a bit and spend a little bit of time with you, and because it's been such a crazy week, and let you know that I got some great stuff that is going to be coming up here in the very near future on Sunday night auctions. Anyway, let's catch a badge. Let's catch a promo model, and we'll check out this other super cool piece I got, and then we'll see where we're at. But and as always, guys, let me know how your week went. Check out what's going on the No Buddies page. In fact, we need to do that anyway. So let's check out the No Buddies page real quick and see what all you guys have going on. I know I saw Nick posted those license plates. I saw there was several other things that had popped up. Hey there, Steve. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do, Mark. We'll make next week. There's a lot of great stuff coming. On top of the fact that, Mark, just as far as worth waiting for, on top of the fact that I'm just, I've grabbed a couple handfuls off the top of some of those stacks of plates with a lot of those new plates I got about a month ago. And then, of course, all the stuff at the auction, the stuff from this weekend. Yeah, we've got a lot of great stuff hitting the auctions coming up here over the next several weeks. So Steve made it. Yep. Glad you guys are having fun, guy. Dennis Chapman made it tonight. Hey, there's Ron. That I'm not sure, guy. I'm not sure if you can get to Facebook from Instagram at this point. I'm not sure how they're doing that. But regardless, let's see what you guys have been posting, what's been going on. Because, yeah, if you're not on there, gal, you definitely want to check it out. All right, let's see what's happening with you guys. Oh, Ryan working in the shop tonight with the Studebakers. Just posted. Check out the Studebaker projects. Oh, I did see what Matt posted about the Hudson and Nash consolidation to join or to build American Motors. John, buy new toolboxes. You always got to buy more toolboxes, right? Andy working on Maybelline again. A lot of great stuff. Oh, the stuff from Hershey. You guys posted. Bill posted some stuff from Hershey. Got to talk to the guys from ACD. John Sanderson with half a 59 Chevy station wagon. I think that's the car I got the dash out of. I've been meaning to ask him that. So, and of course, me and Tractor Mike. You guys need to catch the little short video put up that the Tractor Mike posted for when he was here. We were having a good time. So anyway, like I said, guys, that is such an awesome deal that that you guys post up on the No Buddies page of what you've got going and what you're doing. Hey, there's Wall DC, and it's been great. Zach and Annie take care of that for us. If you're not on the No Buddies page, BUDDIES on Facebook, join that group, answer the questions. Zach and Annie will get you in, and it's great to see you guys sharing your stuff on there as well. Getting a decent amount of members on that page. I think we had 117. Yeah, 117 members. So if you're not part of that group, jump on there and check it out. Bill Dist actually did talk to Doug Prey, and then of course he had his parks manager with him, Raymond. Got to visit with those guys. So Bill, I thought that was pretty cool. The meeting of Smith and Wesson. Thanks, Pete. Appreciate you posting that up since we don't have the sign behind me this week. But yeah, it's great to see your guys' participation and what you've got going on there, and what all your projects, what you're out doing, car show swap meets, things like that, and it keeps it's really helped build the community. So thanks to Zach and Andy for taking care of that. I don't have anything to do with that. They manage that page. So if just go ahead and jump on there and check it out. Hey, Nate made it tonight. All right, let's check out a few things that I did buy this weekend, and then we'll probably go ahead and wind things down. So, but I do have an emblem, I do have a promo, and I got this other piece that I'm super, super excited about. Yeah, she's not here tonight. We're at a different location, so she won't be making any appearances this evening. But anyway, let's grab the promo model that I got yesterday. I don't know if we've looked at any of these before or not. I know I've got them. I do like them. They were a car that, it's hey, there's Leo. Crazy to think that they're, over 30 years old now. But I've always thought they were cool. But there again, it was more of my generation. On these, what year is this one actually? I didn't look at the tag to see what year this one was because it does not have a box. So this is a 95, so it is 30 years old. On the Dodge Stealth. Who remembers these? Didn't have a box, but it's still a promo. I couldn't pass it up. This one does have a few scuffs and scratches in it, and the mirrors are missing. But it is original tires and wheels. As all these promos, the bottoms are pretty basic. One piece of injection molded plastic. No, did not bring the badge with me tonight, Mark. But I did get a promo yesterday, so I thought we'd check it out. I thought they had good lines. I really did. They had this little spoiler that was kind of actually at the front of the deck lid. They all had a black roof, I think. So kind of a unique looking little dude. I always thought they were cool cars. There again, this was a time frame when Chrysler was doing a lot of out of the box thinking, and this car was kind of one of those. This one was a 95. So this is the piece that I told you guys. I've got duplicates on this one. If you guys want to buy it, we can auction it. This is the only thing I got to auction tonight. If you want to auction it, if not, we won't worry about it. But everybody was asking about auctions earlier. Some of you guys were already asking about auctions earlier. So we can do this one if you guys feel like it. If not, we'll add it later or do something else with it. Kevin L 10. Okay, I guess this deal's going now. Austin 15. Let me grab the timer. Okay, let's get set to 90 seconds, and here we go. We're on the timer. Kevin L at 20 on the Dodge Stealth. Remember, this does have some scuffs and scratches in it. So, yes, we're going to sell it. I've got it. This was an extra. Guile at 25. The only thing I got extra to sell tonight because I should have grabbed some of the other stuff and got it ready. I just didn't know how things were going to go. But we're ticking away almost to the 30-second mark. Guile at 25. There could be some snipers out there, Leo. You're right. 30 seconds gone, so we're going to know here in 60 seconds who's going to own the Dodge Stealth. These promo models were, I believe, set up to be twin turbos. Dennis at 30. But good-looking promos. Like I said, a few scuffs and scratches, but it's not busted up or chipped up. It's tweaked just a hair right here. But like I said, they're a neat-looking little car. And 1 minute has now passed. 30 seconds left to go. I've got Dennis at 30. So does Dennis have this one locked in, or do we got a sniper hanging out there? We're ticking away. Come up into that minute 30 mark. We've got a few seconds left. I've got Dennis at 30. Is there anybody else going to take a shot at him? Here we go. We're about ready to wrap it up. And that does it. Dennis at 30. Cool little car. Excited about it, Dennis. They do actually somewhat resemble the wheels of a 93 to 97 Camaro. That's actually a good observation, not a garage. All right, I do need to note this down to Dennis. And we'll mark that to you and get that one headed your direction. Up next, let's go ahead and catch an emblem tonight. This is actually a pretty cool looking badge. From our Ford fans, of course, especially our Ford pickup guys, and of course, this is the era that you guys know I love, the 70s era Ford pickups. But this is a badge you don't see. We see a lot of the F-150, F-250, the Custom, the Ranger. Those badges are pretty common in the 70s era Ford trucks. This one I think is pretty cool because it's a little bit different. This would have been 77 to 79 probably because it is a D7 part number. Appreciate that, Kevin. Hit the like button and hype those videos, guys. Absolutely hype those videos. If you're watching one of my videos that's been posted within the last 7 days, there's a button where you can hype it. The more people that hype the video, the more points YouTube gives that video. The more points that video earns, the higher up the food chain that goes on YouTube. So yeah, hit those hype buttons, guys. I super appreciate that. It's got to be a video from the last 7 days. And actually, I kind of thought that the video from Wednesday night you guys would have enjoyed a little more, but really didn't gain any traction at all. The Lotus that Auburn Cord Duesenberg Company is restoring, one of 5 factory-built race cars, a one of one in the fact that it was imported to the United States and repowered by Shelby with Ford power. The only one. But the video just never really gained traction. So, no, you don't have to pay to hype them. Just click the button that says hype it. And the way YouTube looks at that is if you guys as viewers are enjoying the videos, they assign it more points. If they think if people are watching this and they think it's good enough to hype it, it adds those points to it, and then it keeps going up the food chain. So if you missed the video on that Lotus, you've got to check that one out. And then, of course, if you're a Mopar fan, you've got to check it out, Randy. It's a pretty special car. I really thought that video may have gained a little better traction, but it just really didn't. But still a pretty cool car and a pretty cool story on a literally one of one factory competition Lotus. 5 built originally. This was the only one imported to the States, only one repowered with Ford power by Shelby to try to remain competitive. However, the car after that, the team they were trying to sell it to, I went to a different company and actually didn't end up racing the car in the U.S. after it had been powered by Ford. But it is still set up, and it does still retain the Ford power plant with the transaxle, the snake's nest of exhaust. The power plant looks like something out of a GT40. So it was pretty cool. So appreciate it, Not a Garage. Yeah, we do need to cover some F bodies. You're not wrong on that. We do need to cover some F bodies. So yeah, we got to get some of that squeezed in. You're not wrong with that. And then of course the cool the new old stock Dodge truck stuff and the new old stock Chrysler sign from Friday night. You guys definitely don't want to miss that stuff either. And we got some cool stuff coming up next week. A video that might make a few of you cry when you see what happened to this Divco and this Chevy station wagon. They didn't get crushed. I saved them from the crusher, but by like this much. They had already grappled them, beat them up, tore them up. But I had a chance to get a hold of them before they crushed them, so I did. And we'll save what we can. So, but it's kind of sad when you see them, but you just got to look at the alternative. A day or two later, they'd have been flat and nothing would have been good. And they both still have a lot of good parts on them. They grabbed the station wagon right in the front dash area. So the back part of the car, the back glass, the station wagon trim, that stuff is all still still there and intact. And yeah, yeah. Pete saw the video in the membership group, and yeah, it's like I said. The only good thing about it is we got them. There's still pieces left. You know, even though they tried to destroy them, they got close, but we still managed to get them out of there before they were completely destroyed. But so that stuff's going to be coming up, and I've got a ton of inventory we haven't shared with you guys yet. On top of the fact that I'll have the video coming up from the auction last Thursday. I shot several clips while I was there, and then I will need to kind of go through, kind of give you a quick idea of what I did end up bringing home. But the bag of the pickup was a pretty sad sight for as much cool stuff as they had there that day. And then, of course, the same thing from today. I did shoot several clips from the swap meet today. Like I said, it was a rush. It was bam, 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 in and out, go, keep moving. So I did shoot some clips, and like I said, I got a decent amount of stuff. So when I get back this week, I will, lay that stuff out. We'll kind of check out what I did get at the swap meet, and so I'll have those two videos coming up. On top of the fact that we've still got a lot of new inventory, tons of new inventory that we haven't shared with you yet. So, but anyway, yeah, definitely hype the videos if you can, if you feel the need, and I would sure appreciate that. But anyway, back to the emblem tonight, and then this super cool piece that I am just geeked that I now own. It's right there. I'm looking at it right now, and I can't believe I'm looking at it. It's one of those deals that always, there's different variations of this piece. I've got most of them, but there's like two of them I don't have. One was only used for like 2 years on a very limited amount of cars. They're very hard to find, and I got one. It's right there. I can't believe I'm looking at it right now. In fact, I'm going to admire it for a second here because it's right there. It is so cool. It is so cool. It's right there. So anyway, we'll get to that here in a second. No, it is not a Ford Escort EXP. Although that's a very good guess, Randy. A little bit of comic relief from our friend Randy. That's all right. It is not a Ford Escort EXP, but man, it is super cool. I can't believe I'm looking at it right now. So anyway, we're going to catch the emblem. Then we're going to catch that, and then we'll see how it goes. I do need to sleep tonight, but I'm getting pretty excited because that is right there, and that's kind of wiring me up a bit. So I might need to kind of take this back down a level where I can get any sleep tonight. That or I'm just running on pure deliriousness at this point, which is a possibility. Anyway, tonight's badge, back to Ford pickups. Show us where the broadcast gets interrupted. Are you guys just like pre-throwing out hearts for it? Because if you are, it's worth. Okay, perfect. That's awesome. Because pre-throwing out hearts for this is well worth it. Trust me. So anyway, we're gonna catch this. We're gonna catch this emblem. We'll get to it here in a minute. It's right there. It's right there. The emblem we're gonna check out tonight. Like I said, we see a lot of the F250s, F150s, F350s, the customs, the Rangers. What we don't see a lot are the camper specials. I thought this was a pretty cool badge. Ford used various different versions of this camper special badge. These are not very big. These mounted up on the cowl. These are pop metal, mounted with studs. And like I said, this is a D7 number, D7T, obviously a truck. D7 means 77 was the first year that used this particular badge. So good looking piece, something a little bit different. And like I said, we've got a lot of cool emblems that we haven't been doing many badge bundles lately, but we'll definitely get a few handfuls in of those for next week as well. Lots of hearts for this. We even got to what I'm so excited about. But anyway, so we got a few things we're going to catch tonight, and now I'm going to share this thing with you guys, and then we're probably going to get ready to wind things down unless you guys have more stuff to talk about. Here it is. I'm going to go get it. I've seen a lot of trucks have the spare tire mounted on the front bumper. I remember some of those on some of those pickups like that. All right, keep the pre-hearts coming. Just keep rolling with the pre-hearts. I'm going to go get this thing. I can't believe I own it. I can't believe I own it. It is right there. I'm looking at it. I'm going to go get it. I'm pretty excited, so bear with me, guys. Just okay. All right. We've talked about these on here before. We've given some away, but I've never got this one. We talk a lot. No, I do have some signs over there. We can get those signs out in a little bit because they're pretty awesome too, actually. But this is not a sign. It's a good guess on the mark. We have given those away. We do look at a lot of them. Hemi valve covers. I mean, who doesn't like a Hemi valve cover, right? There's a lot of different Hemi valve covers. Of course, you've got the iconic crinkle black 426 that, everybody's, fully aware of, all the way up to, the new Hellcat stuff. But when you go back to the Gen 1 Hemi from 51 to 58, there's a lot of different ones. There's the Dodge Hemi, the DeSoto Hemi, of course, the Chrysler Firepower, industrial, which we gave away, a set of industrial valve covers here a year or two ago on a raffle. And there's just a lot of different variations of those Hemis and a lot of different variations of valve covers. Some of them just even had decals on them. Obviously, Hemi valve covers got holes in the middle of them for spark plugs. But I got one that I've always wanted, never had the chance to buy. There was one at Swap Meet today. And I can't believe it's here. I'm going to share it with you right now before we all stroke out, or mainly me stroke out. But I now have the one and only, the one that was only used for a couple years on the 392 Imperial. Yes, this actually has Imperial stamped into the valve cover. Now, we see a lot of these that say, Chrysler Firepower, Red Ram Dodge. This one, Imperial. Not very many of these out there. I believe, I'm not sure on this, but I believe this was 57, 58, 392 only. I don't know if 56, 354 may have used it or any of the earlier ones. They could have used this on some of the earlier 331s as well. But very, very seldom do you see an actual Imperial valve cover. It is stamped in it. If we flip it around, you can see all the letters in the back. The hearts are still flowing. I told you guys it was going to be well worth it. You're trying to bid on it, and it doesn't matter. I don't see your bids. I don't even see it, just like some squiggly lines and numbers, which don't mean anything, because this is a real deal Imperial Hemi valve cover. So, yeah, I do consider myself a lucky dog, Randy. I am excited about it. I have a lot of Hemi valve covers. I've got Red Ram. I've got DeSoto. I think DeSoto was High Fire. Obviously, Chrysler Firepower. I've got Industrial. I did not have Imperial, and I do not have Marine. So now I have an Imperial. It is a single. I don't care. I have an Imperial. No, I didn't do that, Pete, because then the guy knows you got to have it. I played it cool. I was like Fonzie. Cool. Played it cool. So the hearts are still flowing. That's awesome. Now, it's not perfect. It's got a little damage. Not that I care, because it's an Imperial valve cover. It is banged up on this corner a little bit. And these actually had the plug covers on them. So they had these bosses for the screws to go into. This end one where the damage is broken, and this corner is whammied up. That's right, JP. Hey, but up here where it says Imperial, it looks good. I'm not that tired, Kevin. I'm tired and I'm kind of loopy, but I ain't quite that loopy. So yeah, I was excited to say the least. So yeah, so like I said, I've got a lot of them. I don't have Marine, and those are difficult to find as well. So I'm glad you guys are excited about it. Obviously, I am. Excuse me, but cool piece, and I may end up going ahead and cleaning this up and painting it. I don't know. I've got some of my Hemi valve covers that are restored. I've got some that are not. This one is basically in bare metal, so it wouldn't take much to go ahead and, kind of give it another quick light blasting and get some primer on it and, go ahead and repaint it. I've got a chrome. I think I got a chrome Chrysler Firepower. I do have a chrome Chrysler Firepower. I know I've got a DeSoto that I painted. I've got a red Ram that I painted. I've got a 426 that I painted with black crinkle paint. I've got industrial that is original because still had some of the paint on them. But like I said, needless to say, I was a little bit excited about my Imperial valve cover. The Imperials were such an awesome car. The 392s, the 392s were hard to get in the 60s. They didn't. Hey, there's Andy Rustioki made it tonight. The 392s, 2-year engine. Obviously, anybody running a slingshot dragster back in the 60s was running a 392. And yeah, that's true. I need to go to a boat swap meet to find Marine ones. And so the 392 stuff is tough. It's out there, but it's tough and it's expensive because it's so hard to find and it's so desirable. In fact, I remember reading a deal about Don Garlitz here not too long ago that when the 426 came out, those guys didn't even like it. They were still trying to run the 392 because they had the 392 figured out and they had it making a ton of power, and they kind of had to revamp their whole program to make the 426 pull like the 392 did. So even after the 426 came out, these guys were still running 392s. So it's just tough to find stuff for them. So on top of the fact that, the Imperial was a premier luxury car and was always a low production car anyway, on top of the fact that and then anything that got junk, the engines were immediately pulled out of them. So you just don't have the opportunity to get an Imperial valve cover. So when I walked up, seeing this one land in the guy's booth today, I was like, I was excited. So hearts are still going, which I think is awesome. I appreciate that, guys. Glad that you share the excitement, and obviously I'm kind of geeked out about it. So anyway, that's really about all I've got for tonight. Like I said, I knew it wasn't going to be a long episode. I didn't even know if the computer was going to work. And so far it did. It hung in there. We got together. We hung out, and that's what's important. We got a promo model headed to Dennis here shortly. And you guys have some cool ideas about what's coming up in auctions over the next several weeks and videos. Austin's thumb is numb from hearts. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Thanks, Guy. I try not to disappoint, so I just get a little too worked up at some point sometimes. And so I get geeked out a little bit too much sometimes, but kind of like on my thermometers I got over there. My thermometers right over there are pretty cool too, that I just bought today. But anyway, like I said, and I'm excited for tomorrow. Dad's car is going to be here. Get to see that thing in person and kind of look it over, see what the engineers did when they put that car together. And I forgot about something else that we got today. We could do this tonight too. Bill Disc, you still on? Because I just seen something laying here that I forgot about. Thanks, Randy. Like I said, I did get a little bit geeked. Bill Disc is here. Well, you're going to appreciate this. We'll start off with, actually, we got a handful of Hot Wheels tonight. I forgot all about these. The first one of them is actually not a red line. One of them is not a red line. So we're doing, I guess I should ask you guys, you up for a Hot Wheels segment tonight? We up for a Hot Wheels segment tonight? What do you guys think? Before I just take off on a tangent here. Oh, I think that, oh boy, I think that means you're excited, right, Bill? All right, let's catch some Hot Wheels. We did pick up 5 Hot Wheels today. The first one, the only non-red line in the batch. However, this is a really good one. This is very common in green, but not very common in silver. Almost every time you see, you'll see 50 green ones to 1 silver one. On the, let me see if I can see the year on this thing. The 1975, you didn't buy any, Bill. Well, we'll share some of these with you. The 1975 Poison Pinto in silver, nonetheless. Like I said, you see a lot of these in green. Green is very common. You don't see a lot of silver ones. Almost kind of a chrome look to it. Bluish windshield on this thing. Big blower sticking out of the hood. On the Poison Pinto. That's what I said, Pete. You see 50 of these in green to 1 of them in silver. That's why we grabbed the silver Poison Pinto. Up next, one that we did not have. That I don't know that I'd seen this one before in person. It is a very, very unique one. And Bill may be familiar with it. It is a 1970, so it is a red line. On the Rocket by Baby. This thing is super cool. I don't really recall seeing this one before. The Rocket by Baby. Check this thing out. It literally has a rocket on top of it. It is an awesome design. Check this thing out. Sweet hubcap. That sounds cool. So you got some Hot Wheels this weekend too. Yeah, I'm not familiar with this one. Bill thinks he's got this one. Definitely a new one on me. But this is actually a separate piece up here on top, like a rocket, that is attached to the top of the car. Like, yeah, it was a new one on me. It does have like somewhat of a passenger's cockpit up here. And you can actually see through the windscreen, which goes clear down here to the tip. Like, it has it look like some gauges or controls in there. Very unique one. So I was kind of excited about that one. The Rocket by Baby red line from 1970. Up next, another one that is kind of something cool and different. You know, Hot Wheels did a lot of cool stuff back in the red line era. That's right. Hot Wheels. Let's just put a rocket on it and sell it. This one, I believe, is 1969. On the Peeping Bomb. The Peeping Bomb. This one in, yeah, it's purple. Hey, there's Tweedledee. This is an open cockpit type design up here on the top. Engines, sticking out the back. Done in purple. The Peeping Bomb. Yep, that's right, Austin. Cool looking car. This next one is really wild. Another one from 1970. And this is another one that I'm not that familiar with. You know, we've been buying quite a few red lines, but man, this is one I'm just not familiar with. On the 6-shooter. Yeah, check this out. The 6-shooter. Tandem axle, twin engine, 6-shooter. This thing is wild. Like I said, we got some different stuff today when it comes to red lines. You know, Bill's probably a little more familiar with these than we are, but check out the 6-shooter. Tandem axle, so you got 6 wheels and twin engine. Bill has not seen this one. Wow, that's saying something. When our resident hot red line guy hasn't seen this one, that's saying something. But it is definitely different. Some unicorns, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how rare some of these are. I mean, Bill may be able to clarify some of that, but like I said, you know, most of these we got today, we've got the Poison Pinto in green, just didn't have it in silver. The last one that we got today, once again, not one that we had. This is 1968, I believe. And they had a couple of different colors of this one. We kind of picked a color that we liked on this tea bucket from 68 called the Hot Heap. Check this little dude out. I'm sure you've probably seen this one, Bill. I don't know if some of you other guys have or not. And there again, for as many red lines as we have bought over the last couple of years, I don't really recall coming across these things. Kind of a funky nose on this Hot Heap. Yeah, Bill Disc knows it. You know, and the one thing about these guys is I love the colors that Hot Wheels used. We've seen the blue, the purple. You know, they had a lot of these almost translucent type colors, and they really kind of go. I mean, they've almost become the colors. They fit to the red line era because of the way it almost looks like a thin paint, but a very shiny paint, almost like a candy apple, I guess, type thing is what I want to try to say, and that could be completely wrong, but very unique. And the thing about this particular tea bucket is if you look at it, it's almost like 50-50 body. Like this, you know, the interior is right in the middle. The engine and the rear deck is almost about the same area, or about the same length. Spectre Flame, there we go, Bill. Bill does not have this one yet either. So there again, great piece, and excited to add that to the collection. And definitely different stuff. We still haven't paid as much for one as we had to pay for the cord. We did have to pay up to get that cord, but these were still great pieces, and I was excited to get them. Hey, there's John Sanderson. But yeah, it was. It's been a fun weekend, to say the least. And like I said, I actually did buy parts. I did work. I bought a lot of parts that I will resell today. So I did, even though we did some fun stuff, work still came first. Still had to buy parts. Still got to get that stuff processed, get a video done on it, get it cleaned up, get it ready to go down the road to guys that are restoring stuff. Thanks, Pete. Appreciate that. It was some cool stuff. So anyway, that's kind of what I've got for you guys tonight. And that's the thing, Bill. They are not getting cheap at all. You know, it's not uncommon to spend, you know, an average red line can be 20, $30. It's not uncommon at all to see some of these. In fact, some of these today in the $60 to $80 window or 100 plus pretty easy anymore. And some of the stuff, like that cord, that was well over $200 for one Hot Wheel. Yeah, you're right, Bill. $20, $30 in the red line world just doesn't get you very far anymore. They had a very nice selection of them today. We did have to pick and choose because they probably had 100 red lines at this booth. But there again, we found some. Hey, Ken Kelly stopping by. We did, we did find some cool stuff, obviously, that we didn't have that we were excited to go ahead and add to the collection. But like I said, you're right, Bill. You've got to kind of pace yourself because there's a lot of different ones, like the Nomad, for instance, the 55 Nomad. They had like 6 different 55 Nomads, and we've only got one, and it is the burnt orange. Well, they had the 55 Nomad in all these other colors. It's like, man, we could get a couple more Nomads to go with the burnt orange one. But then we went, yeah, but we don't have this one at all. We don't have that one at all. So we kind of had to, balance that out and stick with some stuff that, kind of diversify the collection a little bit. But you're right, Bill. It's tough. And, it's kind of crazy to think that 20 or $30 doesn't get you much for a Hot Wheel anymore if it's a red line. But they're still great. They're awesome collectibles. Another one of those deals where the market has definitely not softened. If it's real, if it's good, clean, original red line stuff, that market continues to go. It's just like signs. That market just continues to get harder to find. And good ones, like Bill said, crappy ones can be 20, $30 very easy. So just it's weird to think about that, $50 won't hardly buy you a good Hot Wheel. Yep, and that's what you got to do, Bill. And that's kind of what we did today. We picked out a handful that, filled some holes in our collection, but still got some really cool stuff. Anyway, guys, that's about what I've got for tonight. We actually went a lot longer than I figured we would, but hey, I'm glad you guys stopped by, hung out. We had a smaller crowd tonight, but I kind of anticipated that since we weren't going to do any auctions. I didn't have a full episode. I am thankful that everything worked because the last time we tried to go on my laptop, it zapped us. We weren't even that far in, and it zapped us. So I'm glad it worked. And now that I know that it's working, because I had not tried a live on my laptop since a couple months ago when that happened to us, now I know that next time that I do have to go live from the laptop, which isn't maybe another month or so, but when it happens, I know it's working, and I feel better about that. I was definitely worried about that, and that's why I didn't plan a lot because I had no idea if it was going to work. So we did learn something there, and we did get together and get to hang out, which is awesome. Glad you guys did stop by and spent a decent chunk of your Sunday evening with us. With that, we'll go ahead and wind things up. Like I said, we've got some great stuff coming up this week that you guys aren't going to want to miss, especially I think I titled Safe from the Crusher just barely on those cars. Those will be coming up Friday night. We'll get another video up Wednesday night. And Tuesday, we will do Toy Tuesday live once again. And maybe Tractor Mike will show up another load of stuff on Tuesday. Doubtful. I know he's working. So you bet, Bill. Glad it worked out. Hey, there's Mike from Texas swinging by. And Pete, Bill, and I don't know if Eric is on, you guys in the membership group. Let me know when you guys want to get together. We've tried to do it the last couple of weeks on the training. And let me know if it works for you guys next week, and we'll see when we can all get together. Any of you guys that do want to get in on the training classes, how I do what I do, finding inventory, marketing, selling, packaging, shipping, boxing, packaging materials, everything I do we talk about on there. The next segment coming up is any day of the week would be good for Bill, okay? The next thing we want to talk about at Pete's request is outside sun visors. Some of the differences in outside sun visors, some of the things to look for, in the outside sun visor world. So Pete has asked for that. So our next session, we are going to discuss some outside sun visors. I've got a pile of them in stock right now, so I'll have 3 or 4 examples in the office with me, and we will look at a couple of different things about and discuss some outside sun visors. Bill almost bought one. I bought another one today. It's kind of a rough one, but it was pretty cheap. So that's kind of what we've got planned for the next training class for Bill, Pete, and Eric, and any of you other guys that are interested. You can upgrade your membership to Nobody's Premier. Go back, watch the old episodes, and then jump in on the new segments with us. So that's kind of what we've got planned there. We will try to squeeze that in some evening this week, depending on what works for Eric, Pete, and Bill. Anyway, with that, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and wind things down. I need to come back down a little bit after the valve cover situation so I can take a shower, maybe get some sleep tonight, but not planning on getting up at 4:40 tomorrow morning either. But it was worth it. Like I said, I was very, very pleasantly surprised at the size of the swap meet because we went, it was a complete crapshoot. We knew nothing about it. We got up at 4:40 this morning, hit the road a little before 6, and drove over there in the dark, and it turned out to be a pretty darn good swap meet. So we'll have to put it on the calendar for next year as well. With that, thanks, Randy. Appreciate that. I'll take that. Hey, I'll work with it. I did get a little excited about my valve cover, though, didn't I? A little bit. So, but hey, it happens. Anyway, guys, appreciate you being here. Stay tuned. We'll see some of you Tuesday evening for some Toy Tuesday. And if nothing else, we hope to see you all right back here. Same bat time, same bat channel next Sunday night. Eyes peeled for a short Chevy step van, okay? And for some more Gearhead interactive live chat. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm going to try to get some sleep tonight, get some rest. Got to get home, get to work. Transport is supposed to be here tomorrow with Dad's car, so excited about that. Can't wait to share that with you. And we will see you guys all next week. Have a great week, everybody, and thanks for watching.